Pushkin.
There is an intersection in your college town with your name on it, with your name on it. You always said you couldn't wait to tear it down. I should have been honest, called you out on it. 'Cause I see signs from God and I tread lightly on the wire. You see him in the water and you try to start a fire, burn bridges east of Atlanta. Well, no wonder you lost manna. I'm in love with someone new. I'm going to Savannah. There is a boy you're not allowed in on Bellevue, a bloody face coming. You were a time bomb man. You swore you'd raise our kids to end up just like you. Well, you're a false prophet. That's a goddamn promise. 'Cause I see signs from God and I tread lightly on the wire. You see him in the water and you try to start a fire, burn bridges east of Atlanta. Well, no wonder you lost manna. I'm in love with someone new. I'm going to Savannah. Oh. I hear it's haunted, that the greatest writers ever lived is where he used to walk. At 21, he used to call those women bitches, didn't you? They roll those sweet like honeydew. But you will never know how to talk to ghosts. I see signs from God and tread lightly on the wire. You see him in the water and you try to start a fire, burn bridges east of Atlanta. You lost me, so you lost manna. I'm in love with someone new. I'm going to Savannah. Going to Savannah. Going to Savannah. Going to Savannah. Oh.
Oh, man. So good.
Thank you.
Oh, man. What, how did that song start?
Well, I wrote it a week after my first album came out, and so I wasn't in a headspace of necessarily knowing or thinking about what I was making, but I had this very weird thing happen to me where I had 2 boyfriends in a row ask me to go with them to Savannah, Georgia, which is
Were they from Savannah?
No, they just both had reason to go and wanted me to go with them, and I had never thought about it before, and I didn't go with the first one, but before I went with the second one, I just started thinking about the city and its history, and I found out how haunted it is, and I just started thinking about ghosts and the past, and I wrote about how it feels to not be able to outrun your past.
Wow. Your first album was Are You Happy Now?
Mm-hmm.
You wrote that right after the first album came
Yes.
out. Were you happy after your first album came out?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was relieved more than anything because I'd been sitting on that album for 3 years and I made it between the ages right about 21, 22 was when I was making it. And then I was 24 when it came out. And I just felt like I'd already changed so much. And I was really happy to be telling that story, relieved that it was finally out of my hands and into other people's hands, and just really excited about being able to tour it and see the world as a result of it.
Is that you, 'cause a lot of people will release a record, even if it's one they've been sitting on for a while, but they'll release it and it's just like there's not a lot of writing going on like immediately after. But is that part of a feature of your personality? Like, are you always on to the next thing? Did that just happen?
I'd say generally it's interesting because in the aftermath of this most recent album, I definitely have not felt like I have as much time to write. I've written a little bit, but after the first album came out, I felt like I was still really going. Like it felt like the writing process was just not done.
Wow.
But also a big difference is that like my audience is a lot bigger now. The rollout of this album has been met with more fanfare. So like I have a lot more press obligations. I have a lot more touring obligations. So I'm just like not home in the way that I was 3 years ago.
Yeah. So Savannah, you're asked 2 times by 2 different people. Did you write that before you went, like as you were learning about it, or did you rewrite anything after you had went? Did you end up going?
I did end up going, and I didn't rewrite anything. It still felt, I mean, I definitely heard the voice memo in my head while I was there, but it felt very apt even after I actually ended up going.
It felt accurate. And what happened with, like, why were you there? I'm just like,
it was for a work trip. Coincidentally, he was just going to be in Savannah, and he asked if I wanted to visit him while he was there, and I was like, I think I have to go because I've been asked now twice, and I think I have to see this place.
That's amazing.
A lot of people ask me about like why Savannah, and it is a very odd story, and I think it is a really special city. Like, I mean, ghost tours are like a big part of the attraction of the city, and like there's so many like while I was there, I saw a wedding and a bachelorette party, and I think then we were joking like, oh, we should have to see a proposal and a divorce, and then we'll have the full set. And yeah, it's super humid. Like obviously, like I remember when I got there, like I felt like I was swimming standing up because it was just like the air was just so thick. Wow. And like that'll just make you feel feelings. Like when you're in intense weather like that, like it just stirs up, I think, strong emotions in everybody.
It makes you feel, well, alive or dead or something, but you're contending with life at its like,
yes,
you're like,
absolutely.
Something can go wrong, perhaps. You know? Desperately wrong.
Yeah.
Did you write anything while there, like based on?
I don't think I did.
No.
I don't think I did, but I feel like I'd probably go back, and I remember thinking, being there and also being in a lot of other cities I visited on tour, like these smaller towns are very conducive to writing, I think. And I think it would be good to do like a writing retreat at some point, like get an Airbnb and just like hole up somewhere and try to write as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's not as much noise and as much distraction as there is in a place like LA.
Yeah. It's weird growing up in LA and then going to other places where you realize like, oh, like, you know, your friends will be from other places, and you go and you realize like, wow, I really grew up in a place that was not normal, you know? Like
I have that realization so much.
When did you first start getting outside of LA for music?
It didn't start until 2022, because I grew up in LA and then I went to music school for college in LA. And then a year after I graduated, the pandemic started. And so I wasn't touring at all or going anywhere. And so I started touring in 2022. And that was when I started really meaningfully playing music in other places. And yeah, I just really saw the contrast of where I grew up with everywhere else. Like, obviously there's just like the pace and the population, but it's just like the way people carry themselves. Like, I always heard people say that LA was a place of, you know, a lot of posturing and like a lot of people being fake. And I never understood it because I was like, I know so many great down to earth, authentic people in LA. But then I went to other places and I was like, oh, people are not putting on airs to go to the grocery store. Like they're just not as obsessed about appearances in other places as they are here. And I realized like how that probably took a psychic toll on me as a teenager in a way that I didn't comprehend until I was an adult.
No, it's true. I moved to Long Beach, and even just being like a little outside of the city, you're like, yo, like it's a very different way of life. Like nobody gives a fuck what you wear at the grocery store, you know? As an example, like you can go in your pajamas to the grocery store and not feel like it's a different way of, it's probably a healthier way of living.
Probably, yeah. But I do have an appreciation for having grown up in LA for all of the For all of its flaws, like I'm such an LA apologist. I love Los Angeles.
What do you
so
love
much.
about it?
Well, I mean, the weather is obviously a huge part of it. And there's just something about the air, which some people would say is pollution, but there's something about the air and the light that's just like very comforting to me. And it feels like there's just so much possibility, maybe because the city is so spread out and it's so many neighborhoods, like it feels like it never ends. And it feels like even though I've lived here my whole life, there's still so much I haven't explored.
Yeah.
And I love that feeling of like endlessness. And also, I mean, my whole family lives here. So it just feels very comforting to know that like my brothers and my parents are just a drive away. Like I just love.
What's one thing you dislike about LA?
I mean, the traffic obviously is bad.
That's a gimme.
Yeah,
something
that's a
else.
something else I don't like. I guess I don't like the ways even though I love my Air One and I love the Grove, I don't like the ways in which that has become representative for the entire city because like people are always shocked, for example, to find out that I'm from here. And I think it's because I'm not like a white woman with blonde hair drinking kale juice, but it's like I'm a black woman drinking kale juice, first of all. And like there's just so much diversity. Like I love hearing Spanish. Like that's another thing I love about LA.
Don't you miss hearing that when you go up places?
Yes.
Yeah.
I miss hearing Spanish when I leave. And like it makes me sad when people write. I guess maybe this isn't a thing I dislike about LA, but people saying that they hate LA because they are like, oh, I don't like influencers, or like I don't like fake people, or I don't like the entertainment industry. And I'm like, even the things you dislike about it are more complex than you're realizing. There are lovely influencers and lovely people in the entertainment industry, and I've met them. And like, it disappoints me when people allow their vision of LA to be super one-dimensional and stereotypical when there's just so much depth to living here.
Yeah, agreed. Well said. Really.
Oh, thank you.
LA needs defending, so I'm glad.
And when I run for mayor, what then?
Wow, I would vote for you.
Thank you.
We could use you.
I'm scheming. I'm plotting and scheming in like 15 years. It's on the vision board.
You're joking.
I mean, I'm like it's kind of a joke, but also it's real.
There's a part of you that would like to run for.
Yeah.
Really?
Everyone tells me not to, but I'm still thinking about it.
When did that start?
I just love LA so much, and I have so many great ideas, and I don't want to be the president because that's too much work, but I wanted to be the president when I was a child because I'm a natural leader, and I would love to be the mayor of Los Angeles and see if I can implement some of those ideas. But then, of course, people are like, well, if you just become rich and famous, you can implement your ideas without having to go through the red tape of politics, which may very well be true.
Yeah.
But I'm not ruling out a mayoral run when I'm older. I don't want to do it now. I have too much music to do. But later.
But it's smart that you put it on the table so people aren't like surprised when it happens
no one
or
be
confused. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. It's like just from the beginning, just say like, I'm gonna marry into the Kennedy family so I can run for governor.
Certainly not that.
No? Oh, okay. I mean, this doesn't seem cool. I don't know.
No, I don't want. No, it'll be my political agenda. It will not be a marriage, but it will not be a marriage of politics.
Well, I don't want to get too derailed by this, but what are your ideas to fix?
Well, I want there to be a fleet of electric buses that get implemented because I love the metro. I took it in college actually, but it's really really hard on people's commutes to be adding more metro lines. And I think one day that is the vision. But I think in the meantime, if we just get a fleet of super clean electric buses that are on the street and we just overrun the streets with it, people will just become so inconvenienced by driving that they'll just get on the super clean new electric bus.
Because the buses are slowing down there.
They're slow, but also because the buses look cool. They'll be nice and brand new.
To your point, though, LA is so big.
It is so big.
Like, often, I don't know where you live, but let's just say you're in Santa Monica.
Mm-hmm.
It's not weird living here to be like, I'm going to go drive to like, to the Huntington.
Oh, yeah.
on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to take the bus from Santa Monica to the Huntington ever?
Well, I don't know. That I don't know. Okay. I think we still will have cars, but I think it should be a thing where like that's what cars are for, is for when you're making the big cross LA trek. But when you're in like your immediate neighborhood, like if you live in Echo Park, like, and you just want to go to Silver Lake or Los Feliz, you should be able to hop on a really nice, clean electric bus to go there, as opposed to having to drive and find parking, which is a nightmare. And I think there's an art to road trips. If I've learned anything from touring, it's that a great long road trip can be very healing for the soul. But I just think it'd be nice to have more options. Cause like I love living and spending time in London as well. They obviously have a great tube. Yeah. They have great buses, and there are people in London with cars, but like you just don't have to. It's nice to be freed from the shackles of big car.
You're right. You're right. You are right. When you say there's an art to touring, like is there an art to road trips? How do you?
Well, the most important part of road trip is the playlist, and I love. It's funny because on this last tour, I was in a van with a band for the first time, and we were all yapping so much that there wasn't that much attention being paid to the music. Like at one point, my guitar player drives sometimes, and he put on the West Side Story soundtrack for me because that's my favorite musical.
Wait, yo, that's a good soundtrack.
It's really good. And it's great for drive. It was like a late night drive and it was perfect. But when I was touring, when it would be like just me and my manager, like I would curate playlists. And sometimes they would come to me like in the dead of night. Like I woke up in the middle of the night one time to make a playlist that was In My Feelings and Rich Girl by Hall & Oates and The Boy Is Mine. And I was like, this is the start. I don't know what else is going on, but these are the first 3 songs.
Wow. That's a good... Wait, what was the first one?
In My Feelings.
In My Feelings.
And then Rich Girl, and then The Boy Is Mine. I was like, that's how this playlist is starting. I don't know where it's going, but I had like a fever dream of like, this must be how it begins.
Of course that was a fever dream. That's inspired. That's inspired work.
Thank you.
I would love to know where it went from there.
Oh, I ended up being hundreds of songs, but I like doing a mix of like old school stuff, like stuff from my childhood. Like I love Craig David. No one talks about Craig David.
7 Days.
7 Days and Fill Me In.
Yeah.
I
Fill
love
Me
them.
In is great.
I was in a
Thought about Fill Me
hotel.
In.
I was standing outside of a hotel in Berlin at the beginning of the last leg of this tour, and Fill Me In started playing over the speakers, and I was like, this is so... And I was with my manager. She couldn't hear it. And I was like, no, it's definitely happening. It was like raining. I was jet lagged. I was like, maybe I'm hallucinating, but it feels very real. But don't talk about Craig David. Craig David's always got to be on a playlist. Obviously love to put some Brandy on there. Obviously love to put Hall & Oates. Like when I was a kid, I listened to, my parents played me a lot of like James Taylor and Carole King. Like that'll always get the mood up. Fleetwood Mac, you know, just all the classics. But then you also throw in the new
parents
stuff.
on board with that? Like that was both, but that was both of their musical diets. Were those...
My mom was the one who was more like she was like the James Taylor, Carole King stuff, and Stevie Wonder. Both my parents were, Stevie Wonder was like the big overlap, I would say, for my parents. Yeah, like my dad. So my dad is a lawyer, but he won my mom over by singing to her. And he used to sing Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder to her.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he has a beautiful voice.
Really?
But he was like, I have to make money. So he didn't pursue it. But he went to high school with Lenny Kravitz.
What?
Yeah.
Like in Venice?
They went to Beverly Hills High School.
Beverly Hills, right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What?
Yeah. So he had he loves music so much, but...
Where did he grow up?
He grew up here because his dad was a football player and my dad was born in Tennessee and his father was traded to the Bears and then to the Rams when he was really little. So he lived in Chicago for a second, but then mostly grew up here.
Wow. And did him and Lenny,
They were friends, yeah.
What?
They're friendly. I mean, I don't think they've spoken since they graduated, but
Okay.
my dad was telling me that he went over to his house and like he heard him play music and stuff.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
That's nuts. All right, hold on. So he would sing that's
Yeah, he would sing Chances Are and he would sing Lately by Stevie Wonder. Man. Those are like the songs that he would sing.
Did he sing To You growing up?
He definitely sang like in passing. Like he would sing along to stuff in the car. Like he would put on... I have this very vivid memory of when I was 13. He did a reenactment of Brown v. Board of Education for like the anniversary of the trial. Like he played Thurgood Marshall.
I need a dad. I need a dad right now. So, can he adopt me?
He would love to.
I will.
He would love to.
I'll put my papers out there.
He's
right
the
now.
final boss of dads.
Oh,
he's
whoa.
like such. He's
better
such
than
dad
Steve Martin. This is incredible.
He's incredible. Like he's my hero.
He reenacted Brown v.
Board of Education, and I remember I sang the national anthem at it for some reason. I don't know what was going on there, but we did that when I was 13, and I remember that we were at maybe at a courthouse where this was happening, and then we went out to dinner after, and my dad drove me home. My mom had my brothers in the other car, and I remember that Return of the Mac came on, and my dad was singing along to that, and I remember thinking that was like the happiest I'd ever seen him, was him singing Return of the Mac after having just done this trial reenactment. It was like the confluence of all his favorite stuff. And so now him singing Return of the Mac is like a very happy memory for me. And I think I had plotted at one point to have that be my walkout song on stage, which I could still do. I think I should reopen that.
That's strong.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Also, my name's McCrae, so it's like Return of the Mac. It's like, it kind of works for my name.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's that song is endlessly.
But he also likes to rap. So like he actually is the person that put me on to Kendrick Lamar.
Really?
Yeah.
This is great.
When I was like 17, like, because he was aware of To Pimp a Butterfly before I was really. And he was like, he put on The Black or the Berry when we were going on a hike. And he was like, are you listening? Listening?
Were kids in your high school not listening?
They were, but I just like wasn't as tapped in. And like, I think people had showed me, the odd Kendrick song here and there, but it was my dad. He was like, this album is like he knew. He was like, this is a classic album.
Yeah.
These songs are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first artist you connected with as like this, like, where you really identified and became obsessed with?
It was Alicia Keys. Yeah, my mom played me Alicia Keys, and it was part of her campaign to like show me mixed race people, because like my mom is white, my dad is black. I was born in 1997. There wasn't like representation was starting.
Yeah.
But
There's
like
a lot of mixed kids now.
now there's so many. Like my little brother's basketball team was like mostly mixed kids.
I know.
But like even the 5 years between us, it was like a chasm.
You ever get it? I get jealous of that a lot. Not jealous. I'm happy for them, but I walk around like I really wish like I would have thrived in this environment.
I mean, I wonder. There's like such a trade-off because it was not only being mixed, but also like the political climate of when I was growing up. Like it wasn't, when I was a teenager, it wasn't cool to be political. And so I'm like, would I have also thrived in a time when it was like cool to have to talk about race and to talk about those things?
When you were a kid, it wasn't. When you were a teenager, it wasn't.
When I was a kid, I don't think I had political opinions. But I was also 11 when Barack Obama was elected. And so like that whole, like 11 to 19 for me was the Obama era.
What did that do to you? Because that was the first election I was able to vote in. And to
That
me,
I'm jealous of.
well, I mean, yes, but I'll say it only set me and my generation up for disillusionment.
Yeah.
Because, like suffered through Bush.
Yeah.
And then you think we've fixed it. We're like what? Like I'm voting. But it does feel like the generation just a bit younger than me. Yours like took the Barack Obama presidency for granted in some sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
When I was a kid, I remember thinking all the time that I wanted to live through something. I was like, oh, well, we have a black president and like we fixed racism and like my parents did a good job of protecting me from a lot of the truths of the world when I was young. And so I didn't know how many problems there were still to be dealt with. And I really felt like I was under the impression that I wasn't going to be the first black woman to do anything because I was like, oh, it's already been done. It's already been solved. And then the first election I was able to vote in was the 2016 election. And it was just like watching my world come crashing down in real time and like all these illusions that I'd had about America.
Yeah.
Like the cracks had started to show in the foundation before that, but like that was kind of like the final moment of like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. And there is still so much work to be done. Mm-hmm. I mean, I am kind of glad though that I had an Obama childhood because it was a very, very idyllic time to be a black kid in America.
Yeah.
When Obama was the president. And I don't know what it would like to be a kid now. Also, social media wasn't as bad when I was a kid. Like it wasn't as pervasive. It existed, but it wasn't on your phone. Innocent. Yeah, it was on the computer and you could like we could walk around and not have it, carry it with you all day.
Yeah, it's weird. It was on the phone, like I guess, right? But
a little bit, but like Instagram was like, it wasn't, you couldn't make money on Instagram when I was a teenager.
That's one of the big changes.
Yeah, it was just like a place where you shared photos of your friends and you got 10 likes and you were like really excited.
And your food. Like that was the big criticism of it. Like the big criticism of Instagram initially was why are people taking photos of their meals?
That was my dad's criticism. He's like, well, no one wants to see your breakfast.
We wish that was the criticism now. Like, it's so innocent now. It's like,
but yeah, even though obviously social media warped some of my childhood, like I kind of got the last chopper out. Like I didn't have to. Well, because like
you're in fucking not.
Well, I look at the kids now and like so my little brother was 02 and like he kind of didn't really escape social media as a child, but he sort of did. Yeah. Like if you were a kid who was born in like 2008, like you're a goner. Like you had the iPhone was invented before you were born. Like you have like there was no window of time where you could like play outside. Yeah. No,
but
every
true.
generation says that about the subsequent generation, I guess. So I don't know.
But I think we are different. I think we have crossed the Rubicon, so to speak. Like I don't think it's now just like hating to be like this. Things are cooked, and I think things are cooked,
But I have a lot of hope. And I think one, that there is obviously a lot of good has come from social media, namely a lot of my career I built on it. And also, I just think that there's a movement happening to get back to real life. I think people really miss real life. And I think that there's a lot of young people who feel robbed of like in-person tactile sensual experiences and are seeking it out. And I think it's going to become a real status symbol to not have a huge digital footprint. How
do you navigate that? Given you just, a lot of your career you say is like kind of due to social media, but I imagine you, like everyone else, is also looking for ways to not be attached or tethered to,
Honestly, I haven't been that great about it recently because I think especially when I'm touring, like when I'm in the airport and I'm like really tired and like run down, like I don't want to be like meditating or like, focusing on, the things in front of me. I want to be on my phone because I want to make the time pass. And so definitely in the last couple of months, like I've been spending more time on my phone than I would like, but I'm finding other ways to like be on screens that are not social media. Like I'm getting back into playing The Sims, which like that is a great way to like be on screen and kill time, but it's still a creative activity. It's like I'm building houses, I'm like making little people and telling little stories.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the most intellectual way I could pass the time, but it is still stimulating my brain. And like when I am using TikTok, my brain is not working. Like it is off.
Yeah.
And I think like watching YouTube videos is another great way to like be on a screen in a way that still feels engaging. Cause it's like I'm consuming content. I have to remember what I'm watching in order for the content to make sense.
Yeah.
Whereas on TikTok, it's like I can forget everything that I see as soon as I scroll past it and it doesn't impact my day. Whereas like if I'm watching a 10-minute YouTube video, it's like, oh, I have to follow the thread of whatever this person's talking about.
Yeah.
I also really like Reddit, which like maybe that's
Wait, tell me about that. Cause I feel like Reddit was done.
Reddit's
feels
so
like
back.
old.
Reddit is so back.
Okay, what happened? Why is it back? Should I be there?
I love it because I have all of these interests, including The Sims. My other big niche interests are like makeup, perfume, and like stationery.
Okay.
Those are like things I love.
Makeup, perfume, makeup, perfume, stationery, and what else?
And The Sims.
And The Sims.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm on all those subreddits, like looking at, and so it's me engaging with other people who are passionate about my interests. Like I love being in the perfume subreddit where people are like, I'm looking for a scent that has these notes and we're all trading ideas, or someone being like, what's your favorite of this? Or what are the bottles you've used up? And like, it's a way of,
Do you feel you can trust these people?
I'm not giving them anything like meaningful.
But do you feel, but I mean, like,
in
like
terms
their
of their
opinion, like the
recommendations?
recommendations and their opinions.
Well, that's what sampling's for. You know,
Okay.
people say you should try this, and I spend $5 on a sample instead of $200 on the bottle.
Okay.
There's a whole network of sampling.
That's how
going on
you're
out
doing.
there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I really like. I'm hopeful that like the Jensen McCrae subreddit will become more active. Like I want.
Did you start it? Or
no,
like,
I didn't start it,
okay.
but I want my fans to like get more invested in there. But I don't know if I don't know if like my top fans are Reddit people.
We're putting the call out. We'll just make them Reddit people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please join us. But
Join,
I did an AMA with Reddit, like right when the album was coming out, and I loved that.
Wow.
Because I feel like the people, I know there was a stereotype
It's
for a while.
It's your TRL.
Yeah. Well, I know there was a stereotype for a while about Reddit that it was like only a certain kind of person used it, and it was like a negative stereotype. But my experience with Reddit is it's all very thoughtful people, because people like to leave long text posts.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's a place that it's the only place on the internet that still rewards long text posts. Because like obviously on Twitter you're limited by characters unless you like pay, which I haven't used Twitter in almost a year at this point. But on Instagram, like you can make a long caption, but the point is the photos, and TikTok, the point is the videos. And Reddit is a place where it's like there is no photo and video. I mean, you can add photos to text posts, but the point of it is that you're having these long conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm now drawn to it. Cause I'm like, all I want to do is talk.
Okay.
And that's the best place to do it.
To review, stationery, stamps.
No. Stationery, makeup, perfume, and The Sims.
Okay. All right.
That's where I live.
Where does songwriting come in?
I don't need Reddit for songwriting. Songwriting I do that on my own.
How did you, okay. Cause I feel like how can I say this? Like you're a very good songwriter.
Thank you.
In my estimation, for what that is worth. And I feel like the way you write songs is almost a lost art. Like you write songs in the way like great songs used to be written, in a sense. Like, like they're not hyper specific, like it's like there's a lot of room for interpretation, and there's a lot of like just turns of phrases and ambiguousness, and that creates a level of intrigue, and they're really good. So like, how did you become good at that? How did you put that together? I get how you got into The Sims.
Yes.
I get how you become a makeup maven through Reddit, but
yeah, with song, I always wanted to tell stories. Like I just loved being read to as a child. And my mom had a thing where we would go to bookstores and toy stores. And if I went to a toy store, I could get one toy. But if I went to a bookstore, I could get as many books as I wanted. And obviously this was a long scam to get me to be a reader, and it worked very well. And I just always wanted to tell stories. And I always sang to myself. Like my mom just said, when I was like very little, like as soon as I was talking, I was also just singing to myself. Yeah. And it really was, through the Alicia Keys thing of like my mom trying to give me role models, people who look like me. I just saw her and I was like, I'm going to do that because I look like her, so I can do that. It was like such a simple, like neurons firing moment. Yeah. I just was like, that's something that I can do. And when I told my mom I wanted to be a singer, she's like, well, you have to learn how to write songs because that's where all the money is. Like there was no discussion of like, there's no point.
Did she know that?
I don't know.
It's great insight.
Neither of my parents work in the music industry, but she was like, you have to write your own songs. And I was like, all right. So I started taking piano lessons, and I went through a couple of piano teachers, none of whom I particularly liked. And it was because I didn't want to read music and I didn't want to do classical music. And we found this piano teacher who very dramatically was like, well, taking the classical music off the stand, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to learn Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. And she was like, okay. So she taught me how to pick music out by ear and taught me how to read guitar charts.
Great.
And then very quickly thereafter was like teaching me how to write songs as well. And I would, bring her my small ideas about songs and she would help me flesh them out. And eventually I got to the point where I could finish them by myself. And I think a big part of why I got good at it was because my parents instilled so much confidence in me from such a young age that I genuinely believed I was writing Grammy-worthy material when I was like 9 years old. And there was no, like, the confidence that I have in myself now and my opinion of my songs now is the same as it was when I was like 10. But the songs were not good.
This
but
is
I just
why
didn't
I
know
need your
that.
dad, though. But this is why your dad. Hold on a second. This is why your dad is in your mom's. I don't want to discount your mom.
No, my parents they were just so. They told me they were like, "You're the greatest." Like when I was like, I'm like, look at this song that I wrote. It's amazing. They're like, "You're right." And like I watch videos back because I did musical theater too, and I watched videos back of me doing musical theater and of me playing my original songs when I was first starting to write them. And I'm like, these are fine. Like for a kid, they're like fine for a kid. And I'm like, I asked my parents recently, I'm like, how did you know that this was going to go anywhere? They're like, we just did. We just knew.
They just believed in you.
And I'm like, that's great. Like you shouldn't have. Like I wasn't that good. Like it took like.
Do you have siblings?
I do. Yeah. I have an older brother who's my business manager. He doesn't do music. And then my little brother is my keyboard player and also has his own artist project and is astoundingly talented as well.
Were they equally as laudatory of?
Yes, very much so. I mean, my little brother, he's one of those people that's just good at everything he tries. Like both my brothers play basketball. So my little brother, every single one of his pursuits or most of his pursuits were originated in wanting to copy his older siblings. But then he's also like this amazing chef because he just on his own just like loved food. So he was a person that everything he touched, he was just great at. And the piano was like in particular, he was just so exceptional at that. And like, he just wants to sit and play the piano for hours and hours and hours. And that like makes him happy. And my parents definitely encouraged that because they were like, he just had boundless energy. So like, we're going to put you in basketball to burn off all that physical energy. And you're going to be in these piano lessons to burn off all that mental energy. And then maybe you'll finally go to sleep. But yeah, they're incredibly supportive. And I think if my older brother had wanted to do something creative, they would have been really supportive of that too. Like that was why my dad became a lawyer because he was like, I want to give my kids full options. Like I don't want them to do anything because of money. Like I want them to make all their life path choices based on what they're really, truly passionate about and what they're good at and not just what they think is like the safe bet.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel like we should lend your dad out to I feel like your dad needs to start a service.
I
like
hope
an
when
advice,
he retires,
like a
he
Dr. Phil
should be
kind of
dad
thing, maybe. Like I don't know.
All he wants to do is tell people how to live their life.
Great.
Like his number one passion is like, if I have a friend over or something, he's like asking them what they're doing. And it's like, okay, so here's what you're going to do. And here's your 5-year plan. Like he's ready to lock in.
That's great.
And I do hope when he retires that he gets the opportunity to just like dispense wisdom to young people.
Got to get him on TV. I have a feeling. I know it's going to be good. But okay, so your mom, did you have, so your mom was showing you mixed race women specifically for you to identify with, and Alicia Keys, it does seem like you like, and just also judging by some of the songs, like on your first album, like the sort of trilogy of songs, not
headlocks, yeah.
Not headlocks, was headlock.
Yeah.
Like you, there was clearly a time where you were struggling in your identity and who you were and what, you know.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I grew up in LA and I went to private school my whole life and I was surrounded by mostly white people. And I did not feel like I belonged at all. And it felt like just this frustrating liability to be darker skinned. Like it just felt like it was boxing me out of social opportunities, and it just like made people underestimate me, and I felt like I was ugly. Like I just didn't like what I looked like at all. And it's crazy to think about now because like I just no longer care like about like the white beauty standard. It's just totally irrelevant to me. But when I was a teenager, like obviously it felt like the most important thing in the world. And my parents were it was in spite of my parents' best efforts to like ensure that we all thought like that Black is beautiful. Like they were hammering that home really hard.
But the world seeped in.
The world is just so loud, you know, especially for teenage girls. I think it was a little easier for my brothers, but especially being a teenage girl.
You think so? You think there was a marked difference for
well, because they were also, because they were both athletes, like they were a form of Black manhood that was very comfortable for people. Like,
Yes.
also they're both lighter than I am. Like, I'm the darkest of my siblings. And so I think like having like a light skinned black man who's tall and fit and good looking and good at basketball and good at school, like they were just checking all the boxes and people just loved them. And I was like darker skinned and like not an athlete, and like the music I made was like not what people would expect my music to sound like, and I was just so loud and opinionated, and it was like it's not something, I wasn't palatable to the people that I was around. And I sort of like dug my I didn't really feel like I had a way to conform, so I just dug my heels in and just became like even more antagonistic and oppositional to those standards. But yeah, the Headlock trilogy was kind of me processing in real time in college, like how hard my parents worked to try to protect me from that kind of self-hatred, and just like getting so emotional at like how much they loved me and how they putting in so much effort to try to stop the world from getting in.
Yeah. Did they have a sense of how much you were struggling with that?
They figured it out at a certain point, because like they came in my room one night and I was looking at like skin whitening cream on Tumblr, and I was like, I'd been caught red-handed, and we had like this really long conversation, and they were just like what is this? Like, what do you mean? And I couldn't even really fully articulate like what I was feeling or was wrong, because it was like so shameful and so big. But they knew that I was struggling socially. But the thing that they just kept saying to me was like, when you get to college, it's going to be different. Like, I just please get through high school. Like, we know it's so bad, but I promise you when you get to college, it'll be different. And it was immediately different. It was immediately so much better.
I don't know why that is the case, but it's night and day.
Well, especially in my case, like going to music school, the things that nothing was more heavily rewarded in music school than being different. Like whatever made you different.
All your fucking liabilities throughout high school all of a sudden become like the thing to like lean into in college. I don't know what flips.
I mean, I just remember like all the kids who were like closeted gay kids in high school that came to music school, they were out and proud and found community immediately. All the kids who were ethnic minorities, immediately it felt like it was a little bit safer. Some people had different experiences than others. I went to USC, so outside of the bubble of music school, it was not always safe. But it was just like, and then like even just like on a very simple level, like how you dressed, like I was like normcore in the way that I dressed at music school. Like I was dressing like boring, and it was like a competition of who could wear the most eccentric clothing. It was like, these are things I would never have dreamed of when I was a teenager, but all of a sudden you get to college and it's like, oh, you're supposed to be as yourself as possible. That is your ticket to success.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the most underrated part of college is that part of it, the deconditioning that happens.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Was there an inciting incident to the skin lightening cream?
No, I don't think so. It was just like, I was just on Tumblr, which is like, it's funny now because like now TikTok is the thing that all the teenagers are on, and they're just rehashing a lot of the same kind of BS that was happening on Tumblr. And I'm sure I just went down like a rabbit hole in the same way that you can go down like eating disorder rabbit holes, or like, people get radicalized to be like racist or whatever on other platforms. Like you start looking at certain images and then the algorithm just feeds you more of it. And I don't think I was ever serious about it. Like, I don't think I ever was going to meaningfully change what I look like, but I just was like, I didn't know this was a thing that people did. Yeah. And it turns out that there were people more desperate than I was who were like really trying to erase who they were. Yeah. And it made me really sad more than anything. Yeah, it's so sad. There's a song on your first album, White Boy, that I feel like dovetails nicely with where we're at in this conversation. Yes. Would you mind playing some of it, or playing it, or some of it, or whatever you're comfortable with?
Hair smells like smoke, something's burning, I don't know what it is. I won't laugh at your dumbass jokes, white boy. I don't owe you anything, I am learning not to sing for you. Your cage is not my Angelou's, white boy. But you still got a grip on me. Sword to hilt, hand to God, bring me to biblical white girl arrives. I turn invisible. I don't like who I am to you, white boy. Trance state, you're hypnotic. Twirl my hair, watch my voice jump the octave. I don't like who I am for you, white boy. But you still got a grip on me. Sword the hills, hand of God, bring me to my knees. If I stand down, if I believe, if I am what you ask me to be, what will you make of me? But you still got a grip on me. Sword the hills, hand of God, bring me to my knees. If I stand down, if I believe, if I am what you ask me to be, what will you make of me? What will you make of me? What will you make of me?
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
But it's like, where did you learn? It feels like you're breaking rules. Like,
Yeah.
how do you make a song that gorgeous? And then it's like, and then get the gumption for the tag to be like white boy. It's like, it's not, I don't think people are supposed to do that. I don't know.
No,
No
that-
thought to do it, but how the fuck do you do that?
That's what I felt like when I wrote it, because I wrote it when I was 20, and it was the first song I ever wrote that I felt like I was the only person who could have written it. And in the immediate aftermath of writing it, I was like, surely I can never play this live. Like, this is crazy. This is not a song that's meant to see the light of day. And I think I spent like 2 months sitting on it, not showing it to anybody. And then I came home for winter break and I played it for my mom, and she was like, whoa, you have to share that with people. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess. And then I started playing it at shows, and it ended up being the song that led me to my team, because my first manager, she sent me like a cold email asking me to play a show. I said that I would do it, and I played this song among others, and she filmed it and put it on her Instagram story.
Was it like just a show, just like a private, like, or was it?
It was like at this little space in West Hollywood that she was renting at the time. And like, it was me and a couple other artists. And her original ask was like, can you bring 20 to 25 people? And I was like, no. She's like, can you bring 3? And I was like, yeah, I bet I can bring 3. And I thought I would bring my mom and my little brother and then a friend from school. None of my friends from school came, and my little brother had homework. So it was just my mom. And the other artists had brought whatever their handful of people were. And after I finished, I just like ran out, because I was like, I didn't bring anybody. I failed. I flopped. And she tried to stop me. She was like, that was incredible. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Because I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was. And I was like, I just blew her off. And I left. And I went home thinking that I was going to quit. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't keep playing shows to no one. Like, it just feels insane. And, but she had filmed me and put it on her Instagram story. And within seconds of posting it, Rocky, the man who ended up producing my first album, messaged her and was like, who is that? What is she singing? What is going on? And she was like, do you want to meet her? Like we can, so she ended up facilitating a meeting for us and we had our first session. And in our first session together, I wrote my song Adam's Ribs. And then we had another session right after that when I wrote Starting to Get to You. And it was just like, we just immediately clicked creatively. But it was because of White Boy. He was like, I just had never heard anything like it before. And like, he's Black and his wife is mixed. And he was like, I just knew that like I could just see her story and her life. And like, it was just there were just so many layers to it for him and then of course for me. But yeah, it felt like I wasn't allowed. Like writing that song, it felt illegal.
Yeah, well, no, because it's like, I mean, maybe in the annals of songwriting history, but it feels very unique, you know? Yeah,
and I was recently watching the music video for it back. And the music video is also wild. Like I came up with this whole treatment of like, because the kind of the impetus for the song was I went to this party in college, and I was introduced to this white boy alongside my white friend, and the boy basically completely ignored me and just talked to my friend. And I left the party after that because I was like, I can't.
White girl?
Yes, I was like, I can't be here anymore. So I was like, I want to recreate that scene in the video. So we did that, and then we also had a scene where we had some contemporary dancers, and one of the ending shots of the video is me standing in front of all of the white boys that we had cast as extras at the party. And it's just me singing the end of the song with them all standing behind me, stone-faced. And I'm like, that was my first single when I was 22. Like that's like, I didn't know at the time. I was like, I'm just following my bliss. I'm just like making my art. But now 5 years later, like, you know, I'm doing a rollout for another album and putting out this other music. I'm like, that was an intense way to start. And I'm so glad it's how I did it. But it was crazy that was my first thing.
I'm glad you knew no better, because it's like, that's
nothing. Like, I just didn't think for even a second. Like, I mean, I knew that it was like I knew it showed my personality and it showed, you know, my style, but like I just look back now and I'm like, wow, like I came out swinging. That's awesome.
That is incredible. And I feel like there's a lot, like an underlying, I mean, not a lot, but that is like, even in Savannah, like there's some like antagonism going on, you know, like, and it's like, it is a really cool feature of your songwriting, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm not a confrontational person. I'm very capable of doing confrontation. It's obviously not something I relish. I don't know that anyone does, but it's something I'm capable of. But I feel like the safest place for me to express those confrontational feelings is in a song, because in addition to the fact that I'm not speaking directly to anyone, like I can collect my thoughts, I can create an argument that's more concise, and like I can think exactly about what I want to say, and I can say it, and then that can be the last word, and I can feel like I've said my piece, and I don't need to like get a response back about it.
Yeah. I mean, I love Alicia Keys. Big fan of Alicia Keys, but like your songwriting doesn't really feel like
it's diverged a lot since I was a kid. Yeah.
So it is different. You did write more like that?
I would say so. I mean, like I was, you know, a little kid, so like I wasn't writing anything like that profound, but I was definitely trying to sound like her, and everything was on piano. And I would say like as I've gotten older, like, I mean, Phoebe Bridgers was like a big influence on me, especially in college when I first found her music. And like my favorite band is this band Muna, who also went to USC, and two of the members were in my program. And I definitely am.
Muna?
They're a trio. They're like it's basically just pop music, but it's
MUNA?
Like yes. And I feel like I definitely am emulating them a lot. And Sarah Bareilles was really big for me for a while. John Mayer was big for me for a while. Bon Iver is and always has been really big. Casey Musgraves. There's so many people who have kind of wormed their way in. But one of the biggest things Rocky taught me was like trying to sound like myself as opposed to constantly trying to sound like other people.
Like any of those people.
Yeah, like they're like, I feel like you can hear them and the influences are there. But I feel like I've really started to find the Jensen McCrae like toolbox and the Jensen McCrae universe. And I feel like I'm writing in there all the time.
Is it anything you can enumerate, or is it kind of just more of a feel?
Well, I think obviously lyrics are paramount. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice I give to people with songwriting is that your lyrics have to sound good when spoken without any melody or production. And if it doesn't sound good as a poem, you have to go back and try again. I think obviously I use a lot of literary references, a lot of biblical references.
Where does that stuff come from?
Honestly, the biblical references, I don't know because my mom is Jewish. My dad converted to Judaism before I was born. And like I went to Jewish school for a while. And then after we left that school, we kind of stopped practicing. So there's like not really been a big religious presence in my life. But I just find the stories in the Bible to be really compelling and evocative and educational. Like I think they're really valuable as stories. And then, I mean, as far as like literary references, like I'm a huge reader. Like I love my songs to feel like either they've been lifted from books or that they could be set alongside scenes from books. And I really want, like I fangirl hardest when an author follows me on Instagram way more than any other like famous person.
Who are some of your...
Ocean Vuong, he followed me a while ago and sent me a copy of his new book. That was really huge. Carmen Maria Machado followed me right after I read her book In the Dream House, which was like one of the most important books I've ever read. I was gagged about that. Probably the thing that was the most emotional was when I was a teenager, I read a lot of John Green, the young adult author who wrote that book, The Fault in Our Stars. And he followed me on Instagram recently, I think because I mentioned him on another podcast. And that was like, I freaked out about that. And I sent him I sent him a message that was so long, Instagram wouldn't let me send it. So I had to edit it down. That's like making music that authors love is probably my genre. Like making music that authors want to put on their playlist while they're working on their books. That's my dream.
Wow.
Like part of what I've been setting out to do is like, I want to bring together the world of like the great songwriters whose songs are independent of who's singing them just work. And then the great vocalists who they could sing the phone book, like it would still sound great. I'm like, in an ideal world, I would be able to, I want to be excellent at both of them. Like I want my songs to stand alone and for my voice to stand alone and for both those things together to be this extra powerful thing.
Do you ever do covers?
Sometimes, yeah. I do covers at most of my shows. I've been doing, Taylor Swift is obviously another huge influence on me, and I've been doing a cover of a song from her most recent album at like all my shows.
What do you hear in Taylor's music?
I mean, where do I even start? I love her so much. Like, she is so good with narrative. Like, she obviously started as a country artist and writer, and like so much of country music is just story, and like that carries through even as she's genre shape shifted. She's not afraid of like vocabulary, which like sometimes I'll say like, sometimes it can read clunky, like it doesn't always work, but I just love like that she is willing to go there and like she's not trying to she's never tried to dumb herself down for anybody. Yeah. I love how genre expansive she is. And there's just so many like single lines that just like haunt me forever. Like one of my favorites is off of Midnights on Would've, Could've, Should've, when she says, "Give me back my girlhood, it was mine first." Like that's like one of the best. Like I got mad when I heard that. I was like, I can't believe I didn't write that. Like that's like one of the best. It's so good. And like there's a million other ones, but like there's just, I'm so impressed with like Speak Now, which was her album that she wrote entirely by herself when she was like 19 years old. It's just incredible. Like it's the volume as well. Cause that's the thing that I pride myself on is my volume. Like I'm like, I want to just keep creating, whether it's songs, whether it's the other types of writing that I like to do. Like I want to be a person who's just always having a high volume of output. And she is that. And It's just astonishing that she manages to keep doing it.
Wow. Have you the pace that you've set for yourself so far, you feel like you've been able to keep it?
I definitely am bummed that I haven't written as much this year. Like because of, partly because of the album coming out and the touring, but also because like obviously this year started with the fires in LA and that was like really disruptive to everyone's life in a million different ways. And especially I feel like as a creative, it was like, I mean, I wrote a song about the fires as they were happening, but like it definitely like it tanked my mental health for a while. And like I didn't feel as productive and creative. And then obviously like politically the world is also like really or America specifically is really in a lot of turmoil, and like I've written about that to an extent, but that also makes it hard to like tap into the creative life force sometimes. And it's weird because I've never been a person who's ever struggled with creative blocks. And I don't even think of myself as experiencing writer's block. I just think I'm not in a season of high output right now. And I think that's like not that crazy. Like I have made so much over so many years, and it's like, I really trust that it's going to come back. And I have written a couple songs I love in the last couple months, but it's just not at the same clip.
Are you goal oriented?
Yes. Yes.
I don't want to assume, but
I mean, I'm both goal and process oriented. Like I love the journey, but there's definitely a lot of stuff that I want to do.
What are some of those?
I'd love to win a Grammy. Of course, I'd love to win a Grammy. I really want to publish a novel really badly. I really want to get a screenplay that I've written produced.
Have you written one?
I've written a lot. I've written a lot of screenplays and a lot of novels, and none of them have gone anywhere. But one day, one of them will. And I love to act. I found I want to do some acting.
How did that escape you? I feel like
I just didn't want to do it for a really long time. Like when I was a kid, I did musical theater, and then when I stopped, I was like, the only reason I did musical theater was to sing. Like I didn't care about the acting part. And then I never thought about it at all in high school or college, really. And then when I started working with WME, they were like, of course, like they're, a huge agency. They represent everybody doing everything. And they were like, okay, so acting. And I was like, no. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't want to do that. And they're like, well, we'll just send you some stuff.
Have they sent you anything like
they said in the last 5 years, they've sent me a couple of auditions. And when I first started receiving them, I did a bad job. Like I would send them, not on purpose, but
were they things you liked though, or?
I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know what it meant to like a script. Like I was just doing what I was told. And like, I remember like trying really hard at the auditions, and then they wouldn't say anything to me about it afterward. And I was like, I don't think I did a good job. Yeah. And then I started to get more into it. I started doing self-tapes for other people and started to really enjoy that process. And then I got an audition after having done kind of a lot of self-tapes for other people. And
you say self-tapes for other people that you would help?
Yeah, I would like read for them while they auditioned.
Got it.
And I did one after doing that a lot, and it was the first time my acting agent was like, hey, that was good. And I was like, not me being good at acting. And so then now when I get tapes, I like really enjoy doing them. It's really fun. Like I lose track of time. I just lose hours like trying different things. And it's made me now want, hopefully, like if I get one of my own scripts made, like I'd love to act in a movie that I write, which I never would have thought I would want to do before, but now I really want to.
Hold up. You met Spike Lee.
I did.
Like the other, I feel like, did you ask him about anything? Did you like
next question?
Did you ask him about, did you pitch a movie? Did you ask him?
Spike's great. Spike's been very supportive. And
why? How the fuck?
He just found my music online. He just he literally just started liking my posts on Instagram.
Like from a kid of his?
Maybe. That's what I thought. But I don't know. Like it wasn't even one of my viral videos. He just found one of my songs and was just like, this is great. And I was like, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh my God.
I get random, it's always the most random people. Like I got, like Kristen Bell messaged me after I posted my song about the fires. And like Julia Roberts posted one of my songs on her Instagram grid. Like it's all these people. I'm like, I don't know how you're finding this stuff, but like, so much love. Thank you.
Well, Spike's the coolest one.
He's very cool. He's very, very cool.
And he's like great in his own movies too. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't really been in one in a while, but
he should get back in there.
I agree with you.
But that's like kind of, I love the idea of writing something and getting the opportunity to act it myself, which like, because when I first started writing movies, people would be like, oh, you want to play this part? And I was like, no. And then now when I'm writing things, I am often writing with myself in mind.
Do any of those things feel like, I guess music is probably takes.
Yeah, music's number one.
Number one. Does any of the other stuff feel like a distraction, or does it feel like does each one feeds the other and it all?
They definitely all feed each other. I used to wonder if I was doing a disservice to myself by having all these other interests, but I had a professor in my sophomore year of college who I asked him about that because I was feeling very adrift and I was questioning my place in the program, and I felt like everyone else would like ate, slept, breathed music. And I was like, I have all this other stuff I really like. I was like, do you think I should give up on those things and just focus on music? And he was like, never make yourself small. Like you need to do everything that you're passionate about and everything that you're good at and everything. Like do all of it and it will all be in service to each other. And I was like, okay, well, I got permission from my teacher so I can keep doing it. And now, I mean, the thing that I often say is that like when I'm writing, like sometimes I'll write a line and I'll be like, is this a song? Is this a poem? Is this a line of dialogue in a screenplay? Is this like a passage in a novel? And like, if I'm working on one thing and it feels like I'm getting stuck, I just pivot to another medium. And so for me, it's kind of the way that I've gotten out of writer's block is by having all of these different things that I enjoy writing. Is if anything ever starts to feel stagnant or like it's not working, I just switch to something else and it immediately feels fresh.
Who are some of your inspirations in terms of dialogue writers specifically?
Well, my favorite book of all time is The Idiot by Elif Batuman, which is about this girl who's a freshman at Harvard in 1995. There's very little plot. It's just her going through her freshman year, making friends, trying to find her voice as a writer, and developing this ill-fated crush on this older boy who's not interested in her. And I just remember feeling like reading that dialogue felt so much more real than anything I'd ever read before. And it was because it was teenagers who were really, really smart, but they weren't pretentious. And I had never really read anything that was that good at echoing the kinds of conversations that I had experienced and had as a teenager.
I will ask though, can teenagers be smart and not be pretentious?
I felt like the reason why I felt a lack of pretension was because it felt like they weren't performing for adults. They were just performing for each other.
Okay.
Which I feel like was...
So smart for their cohort, not necessarily performatively smart.
They were not performatively smart. And the you know what the other key difference is that they asked a lot of questions. It wasn't kids who pretended to know everything. It was kids who were really deeply curious about the world, and they asked really smart questions, but they didn't pretend to know more than they did. And especially the narrator, like at the end of the book, it's called The Idiot, which borrows its title from a Dostoevsky work. And at the end of the book, she basically says, like, I'm dumb. I don't know anything. Like, I've spent a whole year in college and had this whole summer break and I don't know what happened. Like, that's how the book ends.
Wow.
And that just I read that book when I was 20 for the first time. And it just felt so real to be like, yeah, like I don't know anything. Like I'm asking all these questions. I'm going out in the world. I'm meeting all these people. I'm trying to make sense of everything. And I am left with yet more questions than I had when I started.
Yeah. What does winning a Grammy do for you? You're clearly take out the music career. You're an impressive person.
Thank you.
You're very clearly, like, you have a lot of interests, very adept at a lot of things. What does a Grammy do for you? Why is that like your driving force? Or why is that one of the many things that you want to accomplish?
There's one component, which is that not that many Black women have won Album of the Year.
Okay.
Beyonce winning this past year was only the 4th time it's ever happened.
Okay.
And so there's a part of me that just I want to prove it.
We're back to that.
Yes. That's really part of it. It's really, like, I didn't know that when I was a kid. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, if I do this, like, it's historical in a lot of ways.
Beyonce, Lauryn Hill.
Natalie Cole.
Great.
And then there's another one. But I know that Rihanna's never won it and Alicia Keys has never won it, which is crazy. That's a component of it. There's also the part of me that's like, I've always been academic. I've always been very academically inclined. And I like gold stars. I want the institution to give me a gold star. Like, that's just true. Like, I just love when authority recognizes my work. And like, I know that's not what gives my work meaning. I think my work has meaning because I make it and because it's reaching people who are touched by it. That's the most important thing. But to me, it's a milestone that I like achieving, is getting that stamp from like an entity that's larger than me and that has a track record of anointing people. Like, and if I go my whole life without winning any kind of awards for my music, that's fine. Like, I won't feel like I failed. But it's just something that I've always liked the idea of. It's something that like it'll make me feel like it's another thing to have achieved. And it's another thing to feel like I've worked toward. And there's like a system in place that you can work to increase your odds of winning it. And I'm like, let me just try. Let me try to do all the stuff.
Do you know what that is? Like, can you?
Not really. I don't really know what it is, but I know that like a lot of it is just like being involved in like the music community and like being involved in the recording academy, and like, why not form more community? And why not like be more involved in like music advocacy and music education? Like, those are all things I want to do anyway. And like, just being as involved as I can in that network, I think is something that will bear fruit regardless of whether or not I win an award.
So aside from wanting to win, the things that it might take to win are appealing to you to achieve, fulfill, to do, whether that's just the networking or the helping, the musical education part, helping others learn.
Like,
whatever that is.
I went to Grammy camp when I was a teenager, which is like the part of the Recording Academy's like philanthropic wing. Is like they I don't know what the form the camp takes now, but when I went 10 years ago, it was a 10-day residential camp where you go and you have all this instruction with these high-level instructors. And then at the end of it, we did a showcase at El Rey, which is, I ended up playing there this year myself, which was incredible. And it totally changed my life. It like was what cemented my dream of becoming a musician in a way that was like so much more tangible than it had ever been before. And all I want is to keep going. I think what I want to give is the gift of this dream to more people. And I think that by winning a Grammy, I give the gift of this dream to other Black girls. I've had so many great mentors and so many great opportunities. And I just want to I want to pay it forward more. I want to show more people that it's possible.
That's so cool.
Honestly, before Grammy camp, I didn't think I was going to go to music school. I thought my plan was to apply to colleges in first of all, I thought I was going to leave LA And my plan was to apply to colleges in big cities and do music on the side. Like I thought I would maybe go to NYU, or I was like looking at Emory because it was in Atlanta. I was like, I'll go somewhere that has a music scene and has a big city, and like I'll just study English or something, and then I'll play shows on the side. Like that was what I thought I was going to do. Because the only music schools I knew about were like conservatories. And I was like, I really want to get I wanted to sink my teeth into a great academic education because I love school. And I didn't want to sacrifice that to study music. And then I found out about USC, and I learned that I could get that conservatory education and I could still take USC's general education classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the perfect place. And Grammy Camp was what I saw as a stepping stone. And also it was the first time I was ever around anyone who cared about music ever. And it was awesome.
What was that like to connect with other people like that?
It felt like it was my taste of what it would be like to go to college. I was like, oh, the people here like me. Yeah. Everyone likes me. Like in high school, people didn't like me. And I went to music school and I went to Grammy Camp and people liked me.
Was that like a thing? Like, I think everyone feels a little marginalized in high school, even the pop, whatever. But but you really, like, truthfully, you think?
I had friends in high school, but I mean, people told me they didn't like me to my face. Like I knew that they didn't. And it was mostly because of all, being super opinionated, talking about politics. That was like a big part of why people didn't, they thought I was like annoying and shrill. And going to music, and also I also sang all the time, which is annoying. Like I just sang to myself all the time. You go to music camp, everybody's singing themselves all the time, as it turns out. And that is welcome. But yeah, I loved it. I was like the happiest I'd ever been. I was so sad to leave. I loved it there.
Wow. What gives you your confidence?
I mean, honestly, my family. Like my family did such a good job of making our house a safe space that like whenever I feel defeated or less than or insecure, it's like if I go to my parents' house, they build me up so much. Like I'll be sad about something and I will tell them about it and my dad will start laughing because he'll be like, that's so stupid. That person's opinion doesn't mean anything. Is that person signing your checks? Why do you care about their opinion? Like he will just immediately just make it so simple. And my parents will be like, do you understand that you're the most beautiful, intelligent, funny, like you have everything going for you. Like no one can tear you down. Like to them, it is a no-brainer. And it's a shock that I would ever feel bad about myself ever. And it's their unwavering confidence in my superiority that allows me to feel medium. Like I don't think I'll ever see myself the way they see me, obviously, because that's probably not healthy. But if I'm feeling bad and I'm like, oh, like I'm not where I'm supposed to be in my career, or I'm feeling ugly today, like I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling like I'm whatever. If I can take even 10% of their support and their love, it just bumps me back up to like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. And I attribute it mostly to them. That's
great. That's really great. We should do another song.
All right. I'm going to tune this guitar really quick. But I feel like the next song that I'm going to play is kind of on this topic because one of the things that I have struggled with in my life is forgiving myself for making mistakes and just being overly hard on myself. And so I wrote this song about that. It's called Let Me Be Wrong. Trust my gut and belly flop. Call the coward just to talk. Though it's never worth the cost to dance on glass with my shoes off. Something rotting in my brain tells me to it anyway, and do not fear the long decay, and don't ask God if it's okay. Let me be wrong, ride loud till the wheels fall off, right but delusional, loud at a funeral. Let me get lost, the heart weighs the way I want, and I've been good too long. Let me be wrong. Free my tongue, go rogue and mean, like those girls at 17. They got glass ceilings and rings. Fuck, those girls got everything. Something twisted in my chest says I'm good but not the best. When I was young that knocked me out, but nothing real
Great song.
Thank you.
I love that. I love the Western feel of that one.
Thanks.
It feels like there's like a I don't know what it is, but there's a little something in it that feels like a really great country song too.
Thank you. I like having a little country moment here and there.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
talking. This is incredible. So
Yeah, this has been such a great
I really wanna say
conversation.
Thank you so much for coming by and
Of
for making
course.
the music.
Yes, thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks for checking out Broken Record on YouTube. If you want to listen to us on the go, be sure to subscribe to Broken Record wherever you listen to podcasts.